right there. We talked about those transition opportunities. Who takes advantage of them, I think, is going to be big today, and that's a terrific job by Harrison in the open floor.
Harrison not showing any effects here at the start. It's Baker. Baker hits the shot. It's a three. It's another three for the Wildcats.
That's already 3 triples, or 2 triples, I should say, in the game for Kentucky.
Baker drives in and is fouled by Aaron Harrison. Those first basket.
That's an example of letting the game come to you, not forcing it early. You know, getting a feel for how you're going to be defended, figuring out the areas that you're going to be able to attack. He's been really, really patient here today.
Baker slashing through. Oh, they got it around. Calling one of them. Here's Poitras driving in, and Kentucky is back ahead. His first lead since 1918.
And also, Kentucky has been pretty good in the opportunities they've gotten in the open floor, and then all of a sudden,
jumper, no. Grab, though, by Cotton. Out to Baker. He wants it. He got it.
you see that?
Unreal. Wow. To tie the game at 60. Fighting off the shot clock. And he banks it from the Kentucky bench.
This is like a heavyweight fight where both fighters have been rattled. They've been banged, they've been bruised, but neither has gone down.
Baker backs up for the three. He's got the answer. Again, Kentucky Smart matched its largest lead.
2-possession game here. Options for Wichita State. They don't have to go for 3, but they have to score.
It's Baker. He'll put up the 3. Oh, he says we can bank them home.
For a young person to actually get to go to a Final Four.
And UCLA was the 4th team in the Alamo City. We can only hope we'll get another Final Four back there soon. They've always done such a great job of hosting, such a great experience for the fan. The third foul on early at the other end. As Baker is able to... inside.
Game. You can watch it live now at CBSSports.com. Baker's got it. Odom on him.
Test with that early in the game. Wichita State has not defended that screen and roll with Gant very well.
2 threes by Gant, and an off-balance shot is earlier in this half. 4 points, 8 total. The game averages as the leading scorer, 13 a game. Baker trying to force the issue, backpedaling his way into the clock. Here is Odom, long 2. Rebound lassoed inside by Darius Carter. Van Vliet and Baker has had a rough shooting afternoon. He has gone 3 of 11.
Kevin, that's really been the story of the day for Indiana State. When they've been able to get defensive stops, they just have not.
Scoring drought, and just under 17 minutes to go here in the first half of play in the semifinals.
Jamar Gawley, number 5 in Maroon. He's the guy, the spiritual leader of this basketball team. He's a guy that can go for 20, 25 on you.
Baker for 3. A long 3 ties the game. Ron Baker. In on Cleanthony early. Christian Kirk with the hook. Won't go. Early is there. Ron Baker. He likes that spot at the point. Indeed he does. He has 6 on 2 3 straight.
The lanky Lithuanian showing the up and under.
6 double-doubles for him in the last 8 games. Baker launches.
You cannot go under the ball screen against amateurs. Egidius needed to gather himself. Take your time. Get himself in a hurry.
Cotton waits for it on the backside with 8 first-half points to lead the shots. Baker in rhythm.
He had a career high
26 against Baker again using that strength. He's got an and one. Taking it down the alley. 34-0 Larry Johnson UNLV Rebels lost to Duke in the finals. And Larry Bird and the 33-0 Indiana State Sycamores in this conference went all the way to the finals, lost in some think the greatest finals of all time, and he lost to Magic Johnson. As Baker gets the roll, he's got 14.
Talked about Baker being an NBA player. He was beyond NBA range with that shot. Valentine.
That was from East St. Louis. That was across the Eads Bridge. And Valentine's fun to watch, too, at 28 on the heels of Miss Baker. 3 for 3 answer. Hits the biggest shots when you need them.
Took his team to a Final Four last year. Best school start in history. The only team to start a season 30-0, and he's second all-time in wins here at Wichita State. 7:40 to go. They're up 15, 25-10.
I think where Wichita State differentiates themselves is their two-point game on the offensive end. They score in the paint. They score just like that. They're not a big difference for this basketball team.
Down 18 right now with 2:18 to go. That's called gang rebound.
And that's what we touched on in the first half. You know, maybe we'll undersize how do they match up against bigger, stronger teams. They come together.
Baker to inbounds. Here's Cotton. Checked by Lemon. Inside midfield. Baker in the paint. And Ron Baker has his first two.
So they played, Ron Baker said they play together. There are absolutely no egos or no issues out there. And they don't show a ton of emotion. Just take care of business.
Look at Baker. Grab the other within 4.
Well, Gino Ford said if they can hang in on the boards and not turn it over, they can beat this game. Brett has only got 1 turnover. They've got 10 offensive rebounds. They're playing with great energy and great effort. This zone's been pretty good, too. Because I think Wichita State settled. They just need to see if Greg Marshall gets them to go inside on this possession.
Five on the shot clock. Baker open 3. Yes.
And that's why they got a 14-point lead. Bradley, on the other hand, 10 field goals and only 4 assists. Making tough drives like Walt Lemon just had to make right there. There isn't the extra pass.
There's another 3. Syracuse really been playing with fire the last couple of weeks, haven't they? Only got burned twice.
They just had another win close game. Tyler Ennis has been terrific. CJ Fair makes plays. The zone is formidable. And that's going to be a terrific matchup between 2 great defensive clubs, Virginia and Syracuse. One does it with man, the other does it with zone. And who'd have thought Virginia could actually win the ACC this year at the start of the season?
7 minutes gone by in the second half. Here's Baker again.
Ball, he had a good look, and then the miss by Ron Baker.
At just under 40%, this is the 17th ranked team in the country for three-point accuracy. Great Bulldog.
If they want to beat Wichita State on their own floor, they've got to shoot the basketball well, especially from behind the arc.
Ron Baker fires the...
It steals the rock.
Not even halfway now through the second half. Baker. There it is.
And he's been...
gifted offensive weapon, DJ Valentine, number 31 in orange.
And basket. Regular season, what a lift he gave Wichita State when he came back for Arch Madness last year.
Well, when you talk about sophomore guards, with Fred VanVleet and Ron Baker, they're going into the stratosphere of the most winningest sophomore duos in college basketball history right now. They keep climbing the list, 26 wins. Man, he looks good.
Doesn't he, though?
I love the way the kid's playing right now.
Wichita State by 1 with the ball.
His dad likes it too, apparently.
The head coach, Marty Simmons, and from the baseline early.
Evansville in that 2-3 zone. They're daring Wichita to shoot it from behind the arc.
Inside 15 on the shot clock. Baker sets the pick for VanVleet. 7 on the shot clock. VanVleet for a long 3 by Baker. Count it. The second three-point field goal.
Boy, this kid just keeps getting better. Blake Simmons.
VanVleet and Baker play on the outside. Kadeem Colby setting a pick. Here's Baker. Boy, is he quick.
He uses the glass as well as anybody in the country. I love the old school fundamental style of Marty Simmons as the head coach here at Evansville.
That's why that square is up there on the glass.
But how many players use it today? A lot of guys in orange jerseys do. That's why I love it.
Here's Baker getting past Simmons. Colby with the pick, and Baker with the basket.
Can't trade baskets. We've got to make a stand right here, right now for Evansville.
The freshman guards the sophomore. Simmons watching Baker. VanVleet. Back to Baker. 20 on the shot clock. Inside 3 minutes to go in the game. Baker strong. He'll be on the line.
It's a big-time rebound. I mean, there were 6 sets of hands going after that thing, and all of them were in black jerseys.
Cotton, number 32, watched by DJ Valentine. 2 minutes left in the game. 15 on the shot clock for Wichita State on this possession. Wichita State spreading the floor.
They feel like Ron Baker has a mismatch with Blake Simmons. There it is.
And he connects.
So, this is a team that's hot. Like we said, won the last 4 games. Indiana State, Loyola, they won at Drake by 16, excuse me. They beat Missouri State. This is the team in that 4-game winning streak. They're winning by an average of 15 points. They're scoring 8.3 points more per game than they have on the season. Just feeling really confident. They've done it well by shooting the 3-ball.
Baker along with that one, and then it gets the shooter's touch.
All programs are doing extremely well.
Wichita State has missed their last 4 shots. Ron Baker back into the game for Wichita State, along with Chad Radcliffe and Darius Carter up front. Knifing down the middle, and a nice play. Shockers' biggest lead has been at 2. And Baker finally stakes him to a 3. Ron Baker, as he has done a good portion of the night, running the point.
An attack off that high screen, or see if you can get Clay Anthony early on the block.
Please calling for it. Baker hits the 3.
2 big shots by
VanVleet. Cotton for 3. Had a pretty good chance. Evan Wessel with the play, and a fresh 35 for the Shockers. Baker! It's a 2-possession game.
And Greg Marshall's got Clay Anthony early back in the game. A little offense, defense.
We've got a mismatch down low. Baker. Boy, Ron Baker.
Sizes up Colby. Blocked by Colby.
The length of Wichita State defense interior giving Seth Tuttle fits.
Baker, pull up, baseline, good, solid. And we're going to get the
response coming out of the timeout. Well-designed play by Ben Jacobson.
So it's Wichita State ball, no flagrant foul call. Baker takes it.
And they did that. Seth Tuttle was a non-factor in the second half. Washburn, they kept him under control. Their team defense was a lot smarter in the second half. Baker. Yes. Pretty move. Wichita State, the only two undefeated teams in the country now.
And Bohannon foul, wins 70.
That Billiken team is good. They're zeroing in on a nice NCAA seed. Under Jimmy Cruz, the former Evansville head coach.
Wichita State really moving the ball well from side to side. Late shot clock, then they're attacking off the dribble.
Baker, smooth, finds the void.
And Ron Baker won that one-on-one defensive to offensive matchup.
And Baker gets 3 on the other end.
You just...
A clear out. Gibson. And a foul on Agidius Huda's bounce. He's got 19, the leading sophomore scorer in the nation. Baker, 7 on the shot clock. First, second,
finish. Smart play by Simmons. That's a coach's son.
I know they're down 10, but Mark, I'm seeing Evansville grow up before my eyes. It's a different team than they were a couple weeks ago. They challenged Northern Iowa on the road. Baker. Great fold, Baker. In rhythm.
Watching nervously from the sideline. Shockers can't get a rebound, and finally Cleanthony Early clears it. Fred VanVleet. Early had one from 19, passed it up. Shockers have had success attacking the basket. All 6 of their points have come from moves in the paint. Nice.
85% from the free throw line. Just an excellent all-around player.
They have actually taken a shot off the thigh early on here in the second half instead of that foot, which had him out for portions of the first half. Seems to be moving better now. Baker for 3. Yes.
Here's a question. Christian Thomas went out in the first half. I think he only played 4 minutes in the first half. Got too fast.
A little bit underrated for because of his size. He can hold his position really well. He's really, really strong and plays low. He uses his leverage really well.
Darius Carter, number 12, onto the court for the Shocker. Their first substitution as Baker hits a long 3. Takeaway by Wichita State. They do that so well. VanVleet quickly the other direction.
I was talking to assistant coach Todd Townsend yesterday a little bit about this Wichita State team. What makes them so tough? He said 4 against bigger defenders.
Derail Green, number 1, onto the court for Wichita State. He handles the basketball there. He gets it quickly to Ron Baker.
And you see VanVleet's out of the game at this point. Ron Baker assumes the point guard responsibility. So even though he's 6 paired, feeling comfortable making his first 3, got him into the flow of the game. Great move. That pump fake is lethal for him.
Baker on the turnaround, and this Wichita State team just
we were just talking about his son. Must have known that Ben was on the screen. Daddy makes him proud, knocking down the 3 there.
Baker goes into the lane. Reaching for it was Daniels.
Early for three. Way off the mark, but Cotton saves it.
See the matchup right there. Gant, terrific job at 6'9", getting his hands up, forcing a fade.
Baker, the bump, and the bucket.
In the NCAA tournament, I think Jake Odom might have been a freshman.
Yeah.
And they gave the Orange all they could handle.
That was a smooth jumper by A-Rock. He has 4, and it's a 3-point game. Until Ron Baker. Indiana State came in averaging just over 11 turnovers a game. Their last 3 possessions have been 3 turnovers.
Well, these two teams can really bring out the ugly in each other.
Odom slipped. Here's Baker, 10 on the shot clock. Pull up.
Understand the game, anticipate plays, because you're the last line of defense and have to provide help. There's an awful lot to learn there, and you know it takes a while to develop that intelligence quotient.
Baker, aggressive!
We've seen the attack that Indiana State should have applied early in this ball game. The ability to get the ball into the paint, driving, kicking, dishing. Instead, they were settling for perimeter threes.
How about the look from Carter?
And that goes off the thigh of Omari Greer.
Defending without fouling.
Great cross by Baker and strong to the bucket. Fred VanVleet, second in the NCAA. Assist to turnover ratio. Baker with the rebound. And he sets the offense in the half court. Prosser with the flash. He hedges the screen. Baker from deep.
Shot for 3, and that's off the back iron with Early missing. But Carter was there for the rebound, and Baker's in traffic, shooting over Singleton, and air ball. In fact, out off the glass. No rim. That goes in. A better state. Wichita State with a 1-point lead.
Boy, that's you never forget that first practice or the three that you have in one day.
Yeah,
you're up
exactly.
in that time frame. Baker trying to get loose. He's guarded by Jordan Barham, and Barham, who's been in Baker's back pocket for most of the first
game. They should have won. This team couldn't make free throws, and North Carolina just went on a tear in overtime.
Here's Baker on the drive, and Baker on the drive. Sullivan is called for the foul. Wichita,
including Darius Carter being the fifth. He doesn't hide anything with his basketball team. He tells about all the records that need to be broken. He says he wants to go undefeated. This team's got a lot of mini goals, and one of them is to get to 13-0, 14-0, build on that. They want to get into conference play. They do not want to lose, win on the road. This is a team that establishes a lot of wins and identity on the road. And that's a bucket that they need.
First steps in, rings up a three, and hold on. 6-point lead inside 8 minutes to go.
Yeah. The senior came off an outstanding game at 33 points.
Defensive lead, your defense as far as the emphasis goes and the excitement level that you have. And Davidson just hit a big hoop. We'll see what Wichita State can do here. Inside, Baker, open shot, missed, but he's fouled. Sullivan is going to get called for the foul, but Anthony early, nice big miss, free throw for Davidson. 1:47 to go. Wichita State can take its time. Davidson going to two-time. Foul's going to be called on Kalinowski.
I mean, it's pretty obvious. The rule changes are